Hello, folks. This is a very special interview for me. I like to interview healthcare professionals where we have some overlapping or adjacent expertise, or really my favorite is to interview over 50 athletes. And these two guys are two of my favorite people in the world because we used to spar. This is Ed Perryman
There you go.
and Peter Mutapa, who for me is in the upper left. So we all got into boxing in our own respective ways. We'll dig into that a little bit. Ed and I did some sparring for quite a long time, and with a third guy for some of the time, named Danny, good guy. Kind of the early to mid '80s, right? Ed, is that about
Right.
right? And then with
Exactly.
Peter, it was more late
Early 90s.
Okay, early 90s. That sounds right. Happy to introduce you, and so that's great. They've never met before, and they've never been in the ring together. But I could train either one of them and tell the other one's weak spots if I wasn't so old that I forgot what they were. So,
All right. Hey,
all right. So,
you're a 49er fan?
I'm a 49er fan too since
All right.
1980.
Okay. Raider fan here.
okay, you guys, take it easy. I'm too small to separate you now.
Hey, all East Bay love. All East Bay
There
love.
you go. That's the attitude. Okay.
Yep.
So listen, I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Ed, and Ed, and I'm going to ask you the same thing, Peter. Can you tell us how you got into boxing and then ultimately sparring? Because you can be a big fan of a sport, but not actually participate, and especially in terms of boxing, that's a big leap to go from watching it and being,
Yeah,
a fan to actually
sure.
it, right? So,
Mine is just it's like has just four parts. Number one was I was influenced by Sugar Ray Robinson. You
oh,
know when
oh
they had
yeah,
Gillette
come on, man.
fights, Friday night fights.
Oh wow.
And I was in Texas, man, and that's where I saw him fight. And every Friday, the Friday night fight. Remember the Gillette? Da, 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 da,
Yep.
da, da,
Yep.
da,
Yeah,
da,
sure,
da.
sure.
Yeah, Gillette.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gillette, right?
that was it. That was the first uh, impression
Right,
of boxing.
right.
And so he was that guy. And
Great.
then there was a movie, Dan, that influenced me called Somebody Up There Likes Me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rocky
The Rocky
Graziano.
Graziano
Rocky
story.
Graziano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that movie, was it Tony Curtis that played that part?
I don't know, but here's the through line for those two. Both
Right.
Graziano and Sugar Ray Robinson fought
Oh,
the Bronx Bull, Jake
oh,
LaMotta.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So that movie, for I mean, whatever reason, I like the idea of a
sure,
underdog, the
sure.
underdog, right? The third point is that I actually got in the ring in high school.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
we had they were going through a training for boys' night, and so I threw my hat in the ring. Now
Nice.
here's the comical part.
Yeah.
I was really good
Oh,
in
nice.
the boxing, and I had a buddy of mine named Caesar Oravella. And Caesar, man, this guy was he was my ace, man,
Yeah.
and my wing buddy. Now the day that I had to fight to make it to boys' night, it was
Right,
during the daytime.
right.
Had to win that fight to come back that night to fight. I went out at lunchtime and took a couple of brews.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't know who I was gonna fight. I heard his name, and someone told me he was a southpaw, but I didn't take it serious, man. So I said, "Yeah, I can take that dude."
Yeah.
And so I went out, and got lit a little bit at lunch,
Right.
and I come back, and my athletic coach, he smelled it on my breath. He said, "Perriman, you're gonna get your head knocked off."
Oh boy.
And I said, "Oh no, man, I got it. I got this, man." And so I got in the ring, and I got my corner man, Caesar, and man, I'm sitting in there feeling good. And I get up first round. We get out, and man, I'm telling you, Dan, the mauling thing that you do, the Joe Frazier, I was all over that dude.
Yeah.
I
Right.
was just smothering him. So the
Wow.
first round
Yeah.
was mine, and then then I think the second round I came out, and man, I didn't even see that punch. But I tell you what I did see. I saw stars.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That left hit me, and dude, I went down, and I got back up, and I made it to the end of the bell, and went down and sat down in the chair. And Caesar, my buddy, he said, "Man," he said, but on the scorecard, it's you. He's 1-1, man. Then just one more round." He said, "Can you go? Can you make it?" I said, "No, man, that's it. That's it." And that was my real introduction to boxing, man.
Yeah, when you kept going.
That was
Peter,
it.
tell us how'd you get started?
All right, Ed, man, quick timeline. So I was a boxing fan as a kid, big Muhammad Ali fan because even with his limited social media, he was all over the TV.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knew who he was no matter what. So
Exactly.
I
Right.
fell in love with Ali. And then when I was 10 years old, my heart got broken when he lost to Larry
Oh
Holmes
yeah.
Yeah.
because
He never
He shouldn't
I
have
lost.
been
think
in there.
that ill-fated comeback, and then I became
Yeah.
a Larry Holmes fan. I started traditional karate shortly after the Ali Holmes fight, and then I stuck with karate through my high school. But secretly outside the dojo, I used to watch boxing on ESPN, and I tried to shadow box in front of the
Sure.
mirror. And I
Yeah.
had a punching bag in my backyard. I used to experiment with moves, and then junior year in high school, they were supposed to have some tough man contest, and one of the seniors picked on one of my friends who was a junior,
Mm.
and he was a football player. He weighed like 210. I
Uh-huh.
weighed like 165 or 170,
Yeah.
but I felt pretty good because I did some point karate, but I did some full contact karate in the dojo.
Right.
So I thought, I had some pretty decent stamina. So I
Sure.
I challenged that guy. I said, "Hey, let's enter this competition they're having." The promoter wanted us to do like a walkthrough sparring session, and so I sparred with two of the football players. The 210-pound guy. He landed some good shots, but he didn't have stamina because he was this big buff weightlifter. And back in the 80s, it was this misconception that the more you could bench press, well, you could beat up everyone. And,
Sure. Sure.
I was kind of a lean, wiry guy, and I
Mhm.
took some of his shots, but I always had a natural jab and left cross
Right.
Mhm.
because I was a southpaw, and I kind of wore him out with my jab, and I hit him with the right hand, and he fell on one knee, got up, but we both finished the rounds. And I think that 210-pound guy dislocated his elbow,
Oh.
and the other guy he was more rocked than I was. So I kept doing karate. I got my black belt at 19, and then I went to San Jose State, and I saw this 3x5 card in the student union, and it was Dan's number. And then I met with Dan in his garage and started sparring. Then I graduated from college, and I entered some full contact karate tournaments, did well. And then there's this famous gym. It's called the American Kickboxing Gym in San Jose. I started doing formal boxing amateur bouts when I was 30, and I had a record of like 6, 7, and 1 or something. I wanted to kind of push my ego, not in a unhealthy way, but in the spirit of combat.
Yeah, of
Hey Peter,
course.
did you
Yeah.
ever kick a guy while you were boxing?
Oh,
That's, you know what, Ed, that's probably the most
I
wanted to
know.
ask question. Yeah.
Exactly. Because like instinct, right?
It's so funny. I have to jump in here, Peter, really quickly, because the first guy that I ever did anything remotely like boxing with, he was a Ken Po guy. He was
Uh-huh.
brown belt going for his black belt test. We were friends. Tall guy, really good shape. I'm a small guy, so usually I end up sparring with bigger guys, right?
Yeah.
So, but he was really like, you know, being really slow, gentle, kind of like,
Yeah.
and with the martial arts, especially Kempo, karate, and Kung Fu, staying further, kind of back on that back foot a little
Yeah.
bit to get that lead
Yeah.
kickoff, right? So
Yeah.
it's really different leverage, right? But it was great for me to sort of, have this kind of like ease into it thing. But he would every once in a while he go back and he just
Yeah.
pick that knee up, right?
Oh my
Just
goodness.
like a nervous thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I got enough to worry about here.
That's what I fear, man. That's what I fear fighting with a guy who
Yeah,
kickbox, man. That's
yeah,
like real street fighting.
right.
Right.
Peter, do you still train with any martial arts, boxing kind
Oh
of?
yeah, I train. I teach karate twice a week in my garage.
Nice, very
Oh,
nice.
Traditional,
excellent.
the traditional forms and basics, and
Uh-huh.
we do our karate sparring.
Yeah,
These are just non-competitors who just do it for their lifestyle, and then
yeah,
I kind of give back to my old kickboxing coach. He's a French Muay Thai and Savate champion, Jerome Turcan.
nice.
He rents space at this Brazilian Jiu Jitsu academy, and so I help his young guys, and I spar with them twice a week after my night shift, kickboxing and boxing.
Great.
Some guys might be getting ready for MMA fights, and I help them with the stand up part of it.
So Ed, you
Yeah.
still hit the bagger mitts or anything?
No, man, not since I had all the injuries.
Yeah,
Had the spinal injury.
yeah.
Um, I
Now, was
had
that from boxing or something else?
no, it's from an accident that work related.
Yeah,
Work
yeah, yeah.
related.
Right, right, right.
I'm not a bobblehead.
Right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do the bobble.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Right
So
on.
I mean, and if I can turn all the way to my left, but not to my right, so I can't see a
Got
pot
it.
punch coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
That
just
makes
dead
sense.
meat. I'll be dead
So,
meat.
so I want to mention something here because it was a commonality for me with each of you, and
Uh,
that is, I think a lot of people don't understand there's a level of camaraderie and
oh yeah,
fraternity, and
exactly. And respect too.
yeah, there's a deep respect from what you have to go through, and then I try to explain to people that there's sort of this unwritten law with sparring that the
Mhm.
bigger, more experienced or more skilled fighter is really responsible for protecting both fighters, right?
Exactly.
And there's a trust that builds up there with stakes that are much higher than people playing a racket sport or pick up basketball or whatever.
Exactly.
So when people sense this warmth, or even between you know, legendary pro fighters, and you see them run
Mhm.
into each other, at another fight or an event or something, you see them hugging each other.
Yeah.
Man, they've been through something that
Mhm.
most people don't understand. The contact in particular, it's executed with thoughtfulness
Right.
and consistent, measured
Bro,
force and speed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm deeply appreciative that both of you guys, both being bigger frame than me. Although when I put up that card, I said I think I was like 150 at the time, and I said I would spar with anybody between like 135 and 175. And this guy shows up, shoulders out to here. There's no way this guy made this 175 cut. And then he takes his sweatpants off, and I'm like, he's got skinny legs like me, right on.
yeah,
And then, but what allowed that to happen, and same thing with you, Ed, because Ed and I worked together and we just got to chatting about it. And so,
Exactly.
but I knew he's a gentleman, and he's a gentle man as well. So,
I care about you, man.
yeah. So
yeah,
when we entered into that, we you and I did Peter together, and Ed and
Yeah.
I did together. There was already a rapport and an understanding and a leap of faith that we reinforced with how we went about it. But I was the primary recipient of that because both the guys were bigger than me and could hit harder.
Look, we were
So
relaxed. We were relaxed with each other.
yeah, yeah, but we had fun, and I think we all
Yeah.
built our skills. We had different,
yeah.
sort of styles and everything. I'd like to ask each of you now. Peter, you mentioned Ali. Is there another fighter that would kind of squeak into that one of your favorite fighters category?
Oh,
Why?
absolutely, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Remember
Why?
he used to hit himself? before the
Yeah,
he hit his
yeah.
head for the
He,
fight.
he, he said he was born with a boxing glove in his head. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, and I like him because he's a switch hitter. He can
Yeah,
box. He
that's a good point.
he
Yeah,
can brawl.
That's a
yeah,
good point. That's a
Yeah,
good
he's very fundamentally
yeah,
sound.
right.
He was like the middleweight version of Rocky Marciano in terms of
Right,
his
yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah,
He
right.
always ate well. He never partied
yeah,
hard, and he always stayed in shape, even in post retirement.
Totally. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, he's a very consummate professional
yeah.
in
Mhm.
every which way.
That's a
Exactly.
great choice. Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, mine is Sugar Ray Robinson. Like I said, the original Sugar.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. And the idea is that when you think about boxing, style and power, he
right,
had both. You
right.
know, the
Totally.
guy who has both, and he's far and beyond all the rest.
Yeah,
And because of his style, his power, it separated him from all of the rest of them
yeah,
because he was in a weight class that was he could go from welter to middle and still be still be the same champion.
yeah, yeah.
And he had more championship fights that he beat than any other boxer.
Right,
To
right.
me, that resiliency and
I'm
able to go across the board.
I'm
Yeah,
right there with you,
number
Ed.
one.
And I would say probably the only boxer or boxing fan alive who wouldn't give it to Sugar Ray Robinson as best pound for pound fighter of all time is probably Floyd Mayweather. He thinks he's the
I
guy.
know.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
No, man.
we
No.
we came up old school, serious, the big
Yeah.
four, Ali to Holmes bridging with Tyson.
Yeah.
You're not going to convince me. Okay, my favorite.
I,
Now
I,
my
I,
favorite.
I,
Sure.
I would put Bud above Mayweather.
Who? Oh
Who?
yeah,
Like
definitely.
Terrence Bud Crawford
Oh,
Yeah,
Bud
above
Crawford.
yeah.
Mayweather.
Okay.
For the
Okay.
reasons you're talking about,
Okay.
Ed, because
Uh-huh.
what Bud Crawford does
Uh-huh.
is he stays in.
Uh-huh.
And he, a lot like Duran did, but with a really different movement pattern, and Chavez too,
Uh-huh.
stay in striking range,
Right.
but manage to not get hit cleanly, and then
So like
follow
Willie
up.
Pep, like Willie Pep.
Yeah, Willie Pep, I think, was a little slicker. Like Willie Pep
Yeah.
moved around a little
Yeah.
more, right? He
Yeah.
wasn't a big puncher, but Crawford can pack a punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's mine:
Yeah. Okay.
Alexis Arguello.
Whoa.
Now, the reason I love Alexis Arguello is he was the antithesis of the thug fighter.
Ah. Before
Gracious
Duran,
man.
no. I mean, as far as him and Duran, what do you think?
They never were close enough in weight to fight. They talked
Ah.
about it, but Duran moved up more
Uh-huh.
and faster earlier than
Okay.
Arguello did. And then when Arguello fought prior, that was pretty much the end of his
Oh,
peak,
okay.
right? But
That would
but
have been an interesting one.
But Arguello, I liked his stand-up style. It was sort of a
Yeah.
Cuban, European kind of style.
Uh-huh.
Tall guy like Hearns, real slender. But when he moved, the way that the shift came up from his legs through his hips,
Uh-huh.
and like a swell of a wave into the crest of a wave. When he
Hmm.
landed that straight right, and he keep people sort of at the end of that
At
jab,
bay with the
it
left. Yeah.
accelerated with such
Yeah.
speed that it landed with incredible power for
Wow.
somebody of that weight. And he was going for the fourth, he was going to be the first guy to get a fourth world title when it was, really
Wow.
legit.
Wow.
It was one of the all-time great fights against Pryor. And then there was
Uh-huh.
that whole thing about the water and everything. But I
Yeah.
mean, to his credit, Pryor beat him in a rematch. So,
Okay.
but my eldest son's middle name is Alexis
Oh, okay.
because
Wow.
he was such a classy guy in and
Okay.
out of the ring. All right, guys, thank you so much for
All
joining.
right.
It's so
Okay.
great to
All right.
get
All
Nice
right.
meeting you,
introduced you
Peter.
guys.
All right, Ed. Nice
All right,
meeting
bud.
you.
Here's the
You
bonus
too, man.
question.
Yeah.
How much fun was it to punch me in the face? Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like we're out of time. Oh, I'm sure you could talk about. We'll get together. Hey, we'll get together and have a meal, and you can tell me how fun it was.
Okay.
I'll be in touch with you guys. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you
Keith.
so
Nice
much. I
meeting you,
really
man.
appreciate it.